everyone, I welcome you all back to my channel. So today I'm assuming that if you did click on this video, it's either you were curious or you are in a relationship, or you were in a relationship and your boyfriend asked you for space or for a break, and he kind of didn't figure out what he really means by that. So today I'm gonna guide you. I'm just gonna give you a few points. I think it's 10 points that can help you determine as to what he means when he says he needs space or a break, right? So now let's say your boyfriend at the time, he calls you and then he says, yo, what's up, babe? Let's get supper, let's get dinner, let's have lunch, whatever, let's meet up. And then the next thing, while you're there, he tells you, I just need to step back a little bit from the relationship. I need a break, I need my own space, and all that BS. And then you're probably gonna think to yourself, obviously, wow. So now this means that this relationship is over. Maybe he can even tell you via a text. Y'all might not even meet up for this conversation. But you may assume, the relationship is over. That is okay. That is completely normal. But you shouldn't be too fast to jump into that conclusion, because when somebody is asking you for space, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's trying to break up or anything. So I'm just gonna try to guide you guys into what he really might be meaning at the time when he's asking you for space. So now point number one is that space can mean many things, ladies and guys. So don't just assume that when he's asking you for space, he wants to break up with you. And why is that? He might not be, breaking up. He might just generally be asking for more time to himself so that he can focus on something that's bugging him, and that something probably has nothing to do with you, or it's because he's lost himself a bit and he's just trying to get himself back. These things happen, right? Going on to point number two is, before you jump into conclusions or before you assume anything, you need to ask him, for details. So one of the best ways to find out what he's really saying when he say he needs space or a break is to actually ask him. Just sit down with him, like, okay, babe, what is it? What's missing? Is there anything that I did, or is there anything that I didn't do? Why is it that you need space? So instead of just assuming that he wants to break up or he wants to have space so that he can date other women, you just have to have a frank and an honest conversation with him so that you can find out what it is that he needs. That's point number two, right? So now point number three is that you need to sit down on your own and look at your relationship. So you need to ask yourself, what is happening between you guys? Have you been more distant with each other for the past few days, for the past few weeks, or for the past month? And unfortunately now, if that's the case, then that means a breakup is on the way. But on the other hand, if you've had an argument, maybe it's because he needs some space so that he can clear his head. Arguments can be very frustrating sometimes. So it doesn't really have to be a big deal. So he just needs his space, and that's just that. Point number four is that he, as the one that has asked for space or for the break, he needs to set some rules, right? So now if a guy is eager to have a bit more space without ending the relationship, he will be willing to set some rules for this new relationship mode that you guys have just entered, right? So he's gonna have to tell you, set some ground rules as to, are you guys gonna keep contact? Are you gonna keep chatting and calling each other regularly, or is it just basically a total break, almost like hitting the pause button when you're playing your music? Okay, the song is still playing, right? It's still a full track, it's still there, you're somewhere in the middle and you just want to catch your breath, and he's just gonna press pause, right? So that's what a relationship break basically is. You before this, guys, you also need to know what it is that you, as the other person in this relationship, you need to know what you're getting yourself into. But as well as you need to know and keep in mind that you're also in this relationship and that your opinions matter as well as your needs. That's point number 4. Point number 5. What does this mean about his feelings? Okay, obviously, if he's asking you for a break, there's something about him or his feelings that's a bit riff-raff, you see. So if he's asking for a bit too much space, a bit more than you would actually expect for someone to ask for, and it's because he says he's confused about his feelings, that is a huge red flag, and a breakup could also again be coming up fast. So you need to brace yourself and prepare yourself for the worst. Again, now it's a good idea to ask him where he's at feelings wise, so that you can know if things are still okay between you guys. Does he still love you? Is a mutual feelings still existing? Or maybe if he just doesn't want to talk about it, he's just too much of a coward to tell you that he doesn't love you anymore. And I don't know, that's okay. Things do come to an end, all right? That's point number 5. Now, point number 6. You guys need to know that space is healthy in a relationship. Yeah, so time away from your partner is very crucial. It's important. It gives you and your partner a chance to focus on your own individual lives instead of being a clone of one another. So if he's keen on having a bit more space so he can do his own stuff without doing couple stuff, it's okay, it's normal, and it's actually healthy. And you should also be taking this time to concentrate on your life too. I mean, you have your own goals set for your own life and everything, right? Now that's point number 6. Point number 7, you need to be very careful. Watch out if he's all about himself. Now I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being selfish, a little self-centered at times or whatever, but if his need to take time for himself is just too much, that can easily turn toxic if he's focusing on himself so much that he's behaving like he doesn't want to be in a relationship, or he's not in a relationship at all. Being taking a break basically in a relationship does not mean that you are no longer in a relationship. You still are in a relationship, okay? And the only difference is that you just pausing it, that's all. So it's a red flag. It's a red flag if he's behaving like he's single, because then he craves being single at this point, and you don't matter at all. So he's not considering you in his actions anymore. Basically, you're right out of his mind. Not on. Okay? Going on to point number 8. What is the time frame? How long is this break gonna be? How long does he want the space to be? So if he wants space to figure himself out, but he's not ending things, he'll be open about how he's going to, spend time away from you, or how he intends to use the space that he's asked for. For example, he can just tell you that, yeah, well, I just want to go away for 2 weeks, be in my own space and figure out what it is that he should be doing with his life, right? And that's totally okay. Now, point number 9, you need to see how he behaves. Before declaring the end of a relationship, which at this point is total exaggeration and totally jumping into conclusions, but you need to give him the space that he needs, okay? See what it is that he does. If he's not ending things, he'll still continue to be in contact with you. I mean, you're still the love of his life, right? So he's not really gonna cut all ties, you know. And he's also gonna give you a clear idea about what kind of space he needs. On the other hand, though, if he does go AWOL, leaving you to wonder what's going on, it's a bad sign that his need for space is really his need for him to be single again, unfortunately. Now, point number 10, last but not least. What if this space or this break phenomenon never ends? What if it's not enough? What if he keeps asking for more? You give him more space and now he wants more. It seems like he can never get enough of his own time alone. Well, while having this time to himself, it's important. It's important for him. Why? Because he needs to, everybody needs time to themselves to keep happy and mentally healthy, right? But then it's a whole new story now if he's taking so much time, and the more time he takes, the more he pushes you further and further away, almost as though he's fading you out of his life. This is when you know that things have ended. Okay, thank you guys for watching. So now on my next video, I'm gonna tell you guys why taking a break means that the relationship is over.